So welcome back to the Guelph Curling Club. We've had a few technical difficulties here with the broadcast, but we are back. We're going to finish off this University of Guelph Invitational with you guys. If you're still tuned in, appreciate you tuned in to On the Button Curling. Eric Fennick throwing for the Ryerson Rams.
Yep, I think so. Looks pretty. Where are we for weight?
And Thomas, as you said, we are back, but we are back stronger than ever, and hopefully this broadcast can continue. And while we were away, Thomas, Ryerson scored 3 points.
Well, they've scored 3 this game, Jai. 3-1 right now for the Ryerson Rams. They certainly are where they want to be.
Which one?
At this point in the game. Guelph with hammer down 2.
Which? Okay. Control.
So Ryerson's looking for a force here.
Yep. Whoa. Yep, got it hard. Hard, any roll.
Looking for a hit, see if they can't roll it just a tad, and they do just that. So they replace that red rock once again that was just taken out by Ryerson, and once again lying to and trying to force the Rams.
Clean it. No. That's good.
Well, the Rams really would have rather that hung around in the rings, but if they could ever get a double, you might be able to get a blank opportunity here.
We got exactly what we wanted there.
Yeah, Weston says there, we got exactly what we wanted. Keeps the rings open, looking for a blank. Or at least trying to force Guelph to a blank, I guess I could say.
Hard, guys. Hard. Okay, whoa, easy.
And they're happy just to go ahead and split the house once again. So that one's going to sit right about at the T line, and that's a real tough double. Have to throw a lot of weight to move that one in there.
Okay.
Might be thinking about
but
the freeze.
But ideally we end up like right here. It's perfect.
Okay, so they're going to hit. Hit and roll to the button is the call. Maybe just a little below.
Normal. Gonna try to make the roll. Ideally, we are full for. I think I like this. Same ice. It's a bit less weight. Okay. I think a 9.5 is probably safe here. Okay, let's make the little roll, boys.
All right, so he's looking for a hit. Have a little bit of weight here and see if he can't just roll over right around the button.
Fed it back a bit. Whoa, easy, close. Real close. Whoa.
Orniak likes it. Can he get that roll? Oh, he got the roll, but I think it's going to be a little bit too much as that one's going to roll out of the rings.
I love the throw. I thought it was like, yeah.
So it's U of T lying one.
I like the throw. I thought we were probably pretty close. I didn't realize that it would.
And with hammer as well, so they'll probably try and split the rings again if they can. Most of our straw weight's been pretty good. It's been the kind of medium weight shots that have been more of a problem, and we caught him saying that too earlier in the end. He doesn't have much confidence in the medium weight shots right now, but straw weight's been good. Looking to put it just to the left of your screen on the tee line would be perfect. Well, they're trying to bring it all the way across to that yellow, and they're right off it now. Weight's a little heavy, and well, can they get it out the back? Not quite. So it still is shot rock.
I mean, how much is it? It's what, a thick half? All right. Intern, yeah.
And it seems that Weston Orniak and Thomas Pepper are both in agreement of where this next stone is going to go, and I think what they're going to do is try and
thick half
knock
to a third,
out
you probably make it.
the stone right at the edge of the 8-foot and just entering the 12-foot and bat it out to the left side.
They have less rock. No, it's
and hopefully catch a roll.
It's okay.
I mean, you can remove either one of these right now. It's still likely going to be a shot for two.
Yeah, like a good one.
For Guelph, but the important thing is that you do remove one of these red rocks first and foremost, or else you're looking at an easy draw for three, as that yellow rock on the outside doesn't have much consequence right now.
And in an ideal scenario, two, yeah,
close.
It's a bit of a tough,
real close.
Tough scenario to deal with.
So
but
pretty
2
good
points.
weight.
Yep.
They want to hit this and roll over if they can. Oh boy, they just barely got a piece of it. And it'll be a draw anywhere within the 8-foot for two for Guelph.
I thought it might, like, all the other ones we had thrown there normally came a little bit right
now
there.
As long as Toronto can get it on the button, they can walk away in this end with a deuce, taking the lead back into their hands.
A little more.
So 3-1 Ryerson. Open draw. Most of our straw weight's been pretty good.
You got backing if you need it. Well, if
So is he going to be able to get this one into the rings? And yes, it will. Just settle in right there. So two for the University of Toronto. And they even this one up with hammer and even ends. We go to the fifth. 3-3 between the Ryerson Rams and the University of Toronto Varsity Blues.
And just like that, it's all tied here in this intense Toronto rivalry.
We had a feeling this game might be close. Teams are, well, it's really hard to tell early in the season, but it seems that these teams are pretty relatively evenly matched.
And in evenly matched scenarios, Thomas, what it really does come down to is one or two, three last stones. So it's making your shots count, making sure you've got your guard set up. If you've got the hammer, look for the corner of the house.
get it over, hard. Hard. No, get it over.
So fifth end here, and well, you see I think that was meant to be a corner guard. Definitely want to keep the middle of the ice open. The blank would really be ideal right now.
It's that rock. You're probably about like.
Thomas Pepper will throw his first.
Bit of room. Let line work a bit if you can. Matias is going to be... Okay, on its own then.
Matias says this might just go through. And does it hang on at the back? Yeah, it just does. So there's a rock and play.
How much? We play this. You come back there, that's okay. Line's good. Curl. Matthews rock. Really has to curl. Yeah, you gotta carve it. Take it back. Hard. Yep. Got it. Hard. Hard. Really hard. Good.
So they'll bury that one behind the corner guard. I'd imagine that Toronto would probably really like to make Ryerson score in this end, considering they have hammer and even ends. As Thomas Pepper throws a second. And they're thinking this might be a little heavy.
It looks pretty big.
Call on hack weight, which means this might slide right through the rings, but
I think we're through.
trying to slow down. Hosavara will sweep it. And I think that went right out.
Okay.
So it was an adjustment for Thomas before where he needed to curl the rock a little less because he was coming up a little short. And that one he might have needed to...
You're a guard, that's okay.
Well, he actually might have needed to curl that one a little less as it just kept carrying and went right through the rings. A little bit fresher ice as we saw, or than we saw in draw 2 today. Matthew Prenovo.
Split. Hard, come on, as deep as it goes. Hard. Hard. Yep. Boom. Hard.
That'll settle into the rings. So what does Ryerson do here? They either need to blank or score 2. Those are your 2 ideal scenarios. Obviously 3 or 4 would be nice, but seeing how this end is shaping up so far, I don't know. Not a lot going on around the top of the rings.
Close. Yep. Hard.
Trying to take this guard out. Maybe he can run it back, and they'll go right through. So they basically just replace that guard.
It's okay.
Yeah, it is okay. You want the center guards. You want guards. You just want to keep that middle open so you have a shot for a couple.
Get there, that's good. You go for there. Getting up here, that's fine.
Prenovo's second here. Believe this is a draw somewhere in the 4 foot. See if he can't bury this behind that yellow and that red guard.
Hard. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. Leave it, leave it, leave it.
Oh, and that. I'm not really sure what that was supposed to be, but from seeing how that rock reacted, it may have hit something on the ice there. So that might be the third or fourth time we've seen something pick.
Good board.
So a little bit of a door open here for Ryerson. See if they can't take advantage of that extra shot they've gained.
Yep.
And right off the bat, Weston is calling line.
Yep. Real hard, Tom. Yeah.
As Pepper's trying to get a by, and wow, they're just gonna roll off it and go to the outside. So I think they were trying to go around that guard and see if they couldn't get something in the rings, but either way, it is a pretty good outcome. They clear that rock out of the center. Nelson Wang now for the Varsity Blues.
Hard line. James. Hard. James, yes.
Asking for James T to
Hard.
take over on this one, see if he can't.
Gotta go.
Well, it's not line here. They just got to try and get this as far as they can. Oh, they sneak by, and they're going to settle in just about frozen to that rock there. So a good job by James T to straighten that thing out and get it by that guard that's sitting just above the rings.
Close. Yep.
Thomas Pepper
Hard,
launches
guys.
the
Hard
stone
to touch it.
right through that center guard.
That's unlucky.
Yeah, and see, guy, this is what the problem was in the first game. You start making mistakes, you start having to chase the game, and that results in you trying to make riskier and riskier shots, and the possibility of failure only increases. So the Ryerson Rams need to lock in here and see if they can't make a couple shots down the stretch.
Most definitely being clinical, communicating, being loud out there.
Hard line.
Even
Hard
just being
line.
loud and communicating things that matter
Whoa, line's good. Whoa.
through the throwing of the stone
Whoa.
can help intimidate your opposition and
Yeah,
just fill you with confidence going into the later ends.
Whoa. Leave it higher.
Yeah, and we are approaching the later ends. 3-3 between Ryerson and Toronto at the University of Guelph Invitational, as they're going to go ahead and just replace that guard once again. And I don't know, it might be time to try and play a little bit more aggressive here as Fanek throws a second and Skip Stones after him.
Just as you said that, Thomas Pepper just launches off the hack and throws a massive stone to clear another center guard.
Put it back.
Do you think it's a bit of U of T strategy, almost as if they're trying to bait Ryerson,
That's
saying,
just
hey, we want you to take out
Well,
the
no,
center guard
the
because
first
we're
one was
pretty
a great
happy
throw,
with
just
where we
like-
are on the ice right now.
Well, what
So
Ryerson's doing right now is
I think you were gonna be on the high
they
side on
see
the
that they
first
have that biter that's
like,
right at the
I don't
back of
know
the
how
house
to
right
throw.
there. And
like
that's their
6 inches
opportunity to
from
score
the
too.
wall
So
line, and it's-
right now they see it as having a double to score two. And once again, we welcome in viewers from a day in the OUA. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast over there, and we welcome you into the Guelph Curling Club in Guelph, Ontario. And it's the Rams against the University of Toronto Varsity Blues here, tied 3-3. And we're in the fifth end.
And Thomas, talk about what a game for the viewers
Moving's under.
a
Yep,
day in the
yep.
OUA get to watch. Ryerson versus UFT here at Curling.
Hard.
And
Switch,
for those
switch.
fans who are just tuning in, you've missed an intense one. It's been
Gotta
tied.
finish it. Hard.
I mean, people have been swinging
Hard.
brooms around. It's been getting intense, and it's
Yep,
been
yep, yep. Hard.
quite the competition. So hope they're enjoying this lovely action of curling.
Ryerson started off by stealing 2 in the first, and then they've been forced since. Toronto has put up a couple of their own as well. We're in the 5th end, and we sit 3-3.
I think almost control. Like, we'll play it tight to the guard. Throw control, make the double.
The Rams have Hammer playing the Yellowstones.
You don't think so? I think you got it. I think we'll throw control. Let's.
I think they're feeling really confident wherever they are right now.
Yeah,
You can't get the nose, I don't think.
yeah, it's not
Like,
a
I think the idea is if you're gonna make it, you're gonna make it with control, barely get by the guard, and make it like that.
yeah.
I don't know if it gets out. Like,
They're talking right now
would
about
you rather play this?
can they make that double there. You got to throw with a lot of weight. You worry a little bit if
No,
you
that's the
miss
only
it just a
problem,
little
like-
bit to one side, you might jam it, and you're certainly going to lose your shooter. But if you hit it right on the nose with enough heat, you might be able to stick the shooter around or roll it. Doesn't really matter.
I'll tell you how much I love it in the hack.
And get those 2 Red Rocks moving and potentially outside the rings. That would
Not
set
sure
up the
I'm in
blank
love
for
with
Ryerson,
Like, I don't
and
think
I
that-
think that biter is gone at the back. And that would be an ideal situation because, Jai, we've talked about a couple times this Ryerson's going to take a timeout here and talk this one over with Coach Stewart.
Like, I got enough of it that I can make.
We've talked about the importance of having hammer
Like,
and even ends.
Like, close to control.
Yes, we have.
And you gotta,
Thomas,
you gotta
and
get by the guard.
truth is,
Like, you gotta
like
curl
you
it
said
past
before,
the guard.
it all comes down to communication. You might have the hammer, but if you're not making most of those shots, if you're not able to avoid those
you have to go to the
guards
outside.
and set yourself within the house as close to the 4 feet or the button, having the hammer can just, well, it can be redundant. Got to make the most of it.
Oh, the one.
I think that's
4 or
what
5 inches.
Ryerson wanted to do.
Jai, while
They
you're
had-
standing there, would you be able to go down and see if that yellow biter is hanging on at the back of the rings right now?
Most definitely. I'll give it a good look.
Or control it
And I think
exactly what I
coming
saw.
back
You
to
probably don't
Ryerson
lose
really
like, it has to
quickly,
be
I think that's the
enough.
reason why they took that timeout, Thomas, because they want to make the most of this hammer.
Man, I don't know what it is. I just have this feeling about the draw. Not if we bury it.
Now, Thomas, I'm here at the other end of the sheet,
don't know.
and it looks like the Yellowstone is still well within the 12-foot,
Oh, okay.
I'd say a good, we'll go with a good 2/3 of it is still there.
All right, yeah. So we can't see that on our stream right now, so we appreciate you giving us that information. So Ryerson is sitting 3rd shot at the back. They do have a rock that's biting at the back end, so that does make a little bit of a difference to the complexion of this end, because now you think about Weston's probably thinking right now is, can you go ahead and throw some weight and see if you can't get both of these reds moving? I don't know, if you throw one right on the top of the red, maybe you can do some geometry for me here, Jai. If you throw one right on the top of the red, is there any chance that one of those red rocks comes back and knocks out or jams on that yellow at the back?
Possible, but you would have to be talking about quite the curl. It would almost have to
Okay.
be that the stone coming in from the right side chips off from the left, bang, bada boom, gets the back rock to the Yellowstone. And then, yeah, you're talking about quite a good situation there. But honestly, I'm going to have to see some magic hands here from Mr. Weston Orniak.
All right, well, we appreciate the insight there. So I didn't catch what they're throwing here. I think they might be throwing the takeout.
I think so. It seems to me. Well,
Throwing it as if
I
speed's
think
the
I'll
same.
just give myself a minute to clarify that.
Well,
But I think
we're about to
time.
see you.
We're about to see it. I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, got some heat on it.
Go then. All you, Matthias. All you. I like it a lot, guys. Matthias, I think you
Slowing
can go
down
and
a
make.
bit.
I think you gotta go
Yeah, so
straight.
they
and
are
make it,
they are
Matthias.
trying to draw
You
in
gotta
here.
Go straight and make it. Go
They
straight.
really got to
Go, go,
sweep
go, go,
this,
go.
trying to get it to shot rock. Oh, I don't know if that's going to get by. Okay, so it'll hang around. So they got two biters, one at the front and one at the back.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah, we actually can't see that biter at the front too. Maybe you
Well,
could
the
confirm
biter
that.
at the
Oh, there we
front-
go. We got it.
there it is. It's once again quite like the back stone, but 2/3 into the 12 feet. Now you have to think what UFC thinking about doing here. Most likely gonna maybe try and freeze the stone, because maybe Weston was thinking, hey, if I put up the stone here at the 12 foot, I can maybe use the hammer, whack these two red stones out of here. But we will see.
Behind the first one. Shot biting the.
Here
I think
comes
it's.
it for UFC.
I got a
Do you
14.
guys think that? I think that shot
And
is.
Thomas, talk to me a little bit about why
They're like top
curlers
12.
twist the stone repetitively just before launching.
Well, curlers are very much, they like to have the exact same routine every time. And well, the way I see it is you're trying to avoid any kind of coefficient of friction. Can't believe I remembered that word. On the ice, and you get the rock moving. You don't want to have anything that'll throw you off your delivery. So you get it moving. You get the ice a little bit warmed up underneath it, and that'll slide a little bit easier out of the hack.
Hard!
Trying to make a difficult shot for one for Ryerson. They got to get it by this yellow, and oh, I don't know. I don't think that's by. So what do you do here if you're the Rams? We're looking at something real juicy right here with that red rock. They're lined up. I don't think
Most
they're.
definitely. It looks like we've got a couple of mutton chops on our hands, and we're about to dig in for quite an exciting last stone of this end.
Like, give me like middle of the 12.
Yeah, so it's going to be a draw.
It's just like I'm not missing this. There's no way I'm missing this tight. There's no way I'm missing it light. So let's make it, boys. Let's.
Weston
Right,
says
full
there's
four.
no way I'm missing it tight, and there's no way I'm missing it wide. So I guess he's just worried about the weight.
And those words of confidence from Weston as he launches.
Big shot
Looks
for
close, guys.
Orniak here and Team Ryerson.
Coming
Trying
in
to
hot.
Full 4. I think you're going. I
find
think you're
full 4 foot. Needs to get all of the yellow rings at least.
Take a look. Yep.
Pepper and
Full four,
Chung
boys, full four.
sweeping it,
Get it.
trying to get it
Full
there.
Full
Can
four,
they
full
get
four.
it?
Gotta be full
Slowing
four.
down. They gotta go. Gotta go.
Guys.
Oh, did they get
Did
it?
they get it?
Oh, I don't know. It's looking kind of red to me. You got a perspective on that, Jai?
Well, it's in such an odd angle that it, honestly, from my perspective, it looks like yellow is spread over, but it could also be red. You might get the measuring out of here.
Oh, I
All
don't.
right. Yeah, heads up, heads up. It's all good. It's starting to tighten up a bit, though.
And then I think it's
Red.
they're going to give it to red.
Red.
They're
So-
going to give it to UFT.
So here's the situation now. It's really not the end of the world. If you're Ryerson, you gain hammer back and even ends. Obviously, you would have liked to get your one there, but you do have the extra hammer as we head into the 6th. And the fact that they just gave up one makes that much more manageable. They keep the hammer, but now if you're Ryerson, you really got to score 2 or else you're getting yourself in a bit of trouble.
Absolutely. About getting out of that hole as early as possible.
All right, we're going to throw to a quick feature. We've got to catch up with a couple great curlers from throughout this community. Take a look.
So I'm from Prince George, British Columbia. It's about a 9-hour drive north of Vancouver. So very kind of secluded from the big city BC that everyone's used to seeing. But it's a really, really beautiful town. Lots of stuff to do outdoors, and of course, lots of things to do in the winter. A long winter, about 5-6 months long. I found an interest in the sport around grade 5, so when I was like 8 or 9, but I didn't actually start curling until I was about 13. There's so many people, and I mean, curlers are from my experience, such fantastic people. Some of my best friends from back home are people I've met through curling, and even people that I've only met once or twice in real life, I still talk to very often online. But I think it's so important to grow the sport, and it just helps. That community just fosters connection between curlers. And I mean, even all the way up to the professional level, you'll see after a game, curlers who were, cutthroat and competing against each other the whole game will go up and give each other a hug at the end of the game. Because at the end of the day, we're all friends, we're all curlers. We've all competed against each other since day one, really, especially if you stay within your province. You've known these people your whole life, you've trained with them, you've become friends with them, you spent weekends with them at competition. So I never, back home, I never got the opportunity to compete in fours, but I played mixed doubles. So my first provincial event I played when I was 15, and it was mixed doubles provincials. And we beat the hometown team in an extra M, which was a very, very special moment. Even I have like a lot of memories just playing in the club with, older people who were club players, or even like fellow youth curlers who kind of invited me out to start and kind of got me going playing the game. And just a lot of memories around that, and just learning from people and making good shots. I think we're pretty well prepared. I mean, we've only known each other for a number of weeks, but I think we're gelling pretty well as a team, and being able to kind of communicate and call shots that we want to make them. Skill levels are getting back up to competition level after the off season. So it's been really great, and I think we're pretty ready for it.
Welcome back to the University of Guelph Invitational as we go to Jaimo. What do you got for us?
Well, Thomas, what a great feature on Matthias Chung as he's about to line up here at the hack to throw another stone. The one thing I took away from that conversation with Matthias was the fact that he looks at curling as a stress release, as a place where he can truly express himself. And the reason I think it's so important is because you out here and you see the amount of university students here. They're all here in the thick of November when academic responsibilities heighten. And so for them to come out here and get some ice time is the best thing possible as they go into a very strenuous academic calendar.
Oh, that's a great point, and I don't know where else you'd really rather be than right here at the Guelph Curling Club for some invitational action.
Yep. Real hard.
And Matthias Chung throwing
real hard, right up. Namaroff.
His rocks now. And it's just gonna squeak by the card. I think they were trying to get a piece of that red.
Yeah, trying to get that roll in so that they would be protected by the current center guards of the yellow and red stone.
You end up splitting it. It's not bad. I like this better though.
But as we said before, Thomas,
Back four.
it's important to keep your head up in this
Back four.
game, because things aren't going to always fall your way. And instead of losing your focus and confidence within yourself, rally with your teammates, get charged up, and throw a better stone the next time.
Yeah, and aside from that as well, we've talked about it. It's a lot about information gathering, especially what we were looking at earlier in the day. practicing, gathering that information, collecting that data about how the rock is curling, how the ice is progressing as the game goes on, and, well, that might be the biggest implication of this tournament today, and seeing how these teams are going to work things out in the future.
You're absolutely right, Thomas. I mean, we've been talking about so much information gathering. We said the word information so many times. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few students out here with a couple of PhDs on their back.
Hard, breathe.
Yeah,
Really
well,
hard.
the sweepers are carrying this stone on their back right now as they're trying to get this one into the rings, but I think it's just going to curl a little too much. And once again, another curler, the victim of this really sharp curl, and even more so when you're throwing that curl that goes from the outside of the ice near the wall back in. That curls a lot more. Just because that ice generally at curling clubs right around the edges has that little bit extra tilt. And it is very minor, but as you can see, it's affected a couple curlers today. On this rock, they're going for that red again. Can they keep it in the rings? Yeah, they do. And Daniel Hocevar will call a hit and see if he can't roll behind that mess of rocks that's sitting up above the rings. There's a freeze in there. That is tough to remove. And it's just about who can draw better. Who can get closer to the button behind these four center guards.
And Thomas, last night as we were researching together and after a long trip from Toronto up here to Guelph, you brought up the topic of the rule change and the fact that you can only start hitting stones after the fifth stone. How much of an impact do you think that's had on the game?
Well, it's had a massive impact on the game, and I think it's also had a massive impact on
that was closer to 10.
Viewer engagement and
You like 10?
how enjoyable the game of curling is to watch. Not just play, but also watch. As if you have more guards out in front, it encourages scoring, and people want to see scoring. They don't want to see just hit and rolls all day unless you're a real curling nerd. But the more scoring, the better. Which I'm sure we all
will be by the end of this.
Oh, well, I wish I was, honestly.
Good throw.
A hit and will just stick around on the edge once again, so they might just... Well, this is kind of interesting that you mentioned that right there, too. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but this is kind of how the game of curling went before you had the guards in the middle. You just have tons and tons of blank ends. When teams get the lead, they just try and blank the game away. And you see a lot of just hit and stick, hit and stick.
Well, in my previous life, Thomas, I was a bit of a fortune teller, so it may have trickled into this one.
That is outrageous.
And here we see U of T throwing one of their last few stones in this end.
Yeah, they're trying to hit and roll in. It's just whoever can hit and roll behind all that. That's going to be real hard to remove, and well, they're not going to quite get the roll here. All right, if you were a fortune teller in your previous life, give me a prediction for this game.
Solid board is probably 11.
Honestly,
is perfect.
It's way too close to call right now, but with U of T I think U of T is feeling very confident. I think Ryerson's feeling very confident. I think it's going to come down to the two veterans skips
probably erring on the side of being big
on each side of the ice. And I think
what Eric threw on a second?
as long as Weston Orniak can keep
his
the
second one, I knew
confidence
he
and
was
took into the
soft,
first end of this game, and the second end and third game, the earlier ends, and maybe we can see a bit of Weston Orniak magic, the man who was born in cradle country for curling.
A lot of room to roll too, boys. Just stay close.
Absolutely, Jai. So I think Weston here, we'll see what he's going to throw here. He's going to try and come around and see if he can't get a piece of that red rock, but this is going to be a lot tighter around that yellow guard there at the top. Thomas Peppers sweeping this as hard as he can, and that's not going to get by, but where's this yellow going to end up? As he pushes one back, and how about that? Pushes a yellow back into the rings, and
Not bad at all. Not
so
bad
we- yeah.
at all.
Yeah, it's not bad if you're Ryerson. Ryerson with hammer, they're looking to score two, and well, yeah, there you go. There's your one right there, and it's
Everyone's
half
tracking,
buried
so like, oh,
behind
you
that
can get away with
center
being-
guard to boot.
Well, I think just like back 8. Yeah. Back 8. Just back 8, I think.
And one aspect of curling that seems to get all the praise and is the most enjoyable for the curlers themselves seems
That's
to
close.
be the after-event drinks and socialization amongst
Yeah.
curlers.
Yeah, that is, yeah, certainly one of the A-tier sports for social
You guys
life.
like this?
One of the best.
Pretty
And
close,
it's a
yeah.
huge reason why the community is so tightly knit. It's, you know, if you grew up curling, your friend grew up curling maybe in another part of the country, you may have met up in tournaments all through your life, and you know people from all over Canada through this beautiful sport.
So it's 4-3 Ryerson
Whoa.
with hammer.
Whoa. Yep. Hard line.
One would be good, two would be ideal. And I think they were trying to tap that back for shot was UFT.
We're 2?
Okay.
And see what Weston
All right, let's
can
make the roll nice.
develop out of this.
I'm thinking a good tap. Make it good, boys.
So Weston's final stone in the 6th.
Whoa, whoa. Close.
Here we go.
Trying to make a difficult shot for one, or maybe two, as he's gonna hit and roll back. And is that shot? Yes, that yellow is shot.
Control. It's pretty straight here.
So the obvious play here for Hosavara would be hit that yellow and roll in and try and stay within the 8 foot. And then he has his 2
Okay.
and
control. Yep.
would give his team
no,
a
we gotta roll
2-point
in
lead.
A little bit, I think.
Nelson Wang at the vice position. Nelson Wang, apologies over there, at the vice position.
Yep.
Helping David.
And that's one thing vices get to do on those final 2 rocks when the skip's throwing. They're calling the line. They're in charge of ordering the sweepers what to do. Got the best perspective out from the rings.
Close.
Final stone in 6. Hosavar and the Varsity Blues looking to take a lead over Ryerson. Looking for the hit. He's gonna roll, but well, I don't know. There's another debate now about which one this is.
1
And
or 2.
No, but I think they're going to give it
2.
to red.
It's 2.
2 points for UFT.
So Matthew Preneveau give the 2 signal. So
I'm good to try to blank.
there it is. Toronto will take the lead, 5-4 here. As we head to the 7th.
Okay, if it presents it's like. Okay. Sure, I like that.
Line's good.
Lead Stones and N7. 5-4 for Toronto.
Hard. Get it over. Hard. Yeah, get it over. Come on. Hard. Okay. I think the ice is slowing down a little bit. True, yeah.
Looking back at the recent success of the University of Toronto, I think they've had the most recent success in terms of the teams that are here between Trent, McMaster,
Be it
Ryerson,
two. Two's
Rock,
good. Make sure we're here.
This men's
Go, then.
team won in 2014 and 2001.
Every inch, lads.
Those are the last two
Try to get into my broom.
OUA championships, and their women's team as well in 2001.
Right. There we go. Great throw. Good sweep, boys. Very nice.
So we've seen a lot of different curlers today on sheet one, a lot of different teams, and Jai, let's get your curler of the day for this.
Absolutely, Thomas, you're right. We've seen quite a few curlers here today. We've seen, Leslie Ingalls, we've seen Weston Orniak, we've seen Matthias Chung, but for me, my curler of the day has to be from the Guelph Griffins women's team, Rachel Steele. She's played absolutely phenomenal, and the game I'm taking her from is the game against Trent where they won 10-6. And for me, the greatest aspect that Rachel Steele had as a skip was her communication. She was able to communicate with the rest of her team, communicate where she wanted her shots, set up great guards, as you see some of the UFC curlers go by me, but a great performance by Rachel Steele today, and they deserve the win against Trent. And I'm wishing them and the rest of the Guelph women's team the best of luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, that end where she took the steal of 3 and then the steal of 2, that was some really, really tough curling, and boy, oh boy, that team, and they put their opponents in a pretty tough position.
Most definitely, and I think the important aspect of that game, Thomas, was early on. We saw that Trent got an early lead, 4 points right off the first end. Any team would feel self-conscious and go, whoa, we're in a tough spot here. What do we do? Temper, nerves get the best of you. But Rachel Steele was able to command her team, get them well organized together, set up quite a lot of guards in that center ice position that threw off Trent's game, shook their confidence, and Guelph was able to capitalize right towards the end of the game.
I'll take Weston Orniak for my curler of the day. Obviously, their Ryerson team, as was a lot of these other teams, are really in tough today. They were able to battle out and get a win. We've seen Weston really, really working on that draw weight and doing a fantastic job reading the ice, monitoring the conditions as they go along. So I'll give Weston my curler of the day.
I think that's a great pick, and coming back to the idea of Weston's family being quite involved in curling, he has an older brother that he looks up to. He competed in the 2011 Canada Games, winning a bronze medal. So you have to think that in Weston's case, there must be future aspirations within curling beyond just university level.
Yeah, well, he talked a little bit to you about, if things go well here at the university level. His brother has been really into curling, a guy who's competed at the national level, and Weston grew up watching him. He's a couple years younger than his brother, and said, yeah, him and his brother might give it a go one day if they get the opportunity to.
Yep.
And I would look forward to that. I've always found when brothers compete or siblings compete on the same team, it always makes for the chemistry to be just that much better than their opponents. But if Weston chooses not to continue with curling, well, he is following himself and his journey into law, and he is quite invested in his law degree, as he's told me, and we wish him the best of luck with that as well. But hopefully we get to see him in more curling competitions around Ontario.
Well, not a bad field to get into. Obviously, very difficult program. Lots of knowledge there, and not the only set of brothers we've seen in curling, not the only set of father-son kind of thing. Obviously, Think about the
Line's
Howards,
good.
who have been doing it for a long time. EJ and Ryan Harnden on Team Jacobs, and well, Jacobs is actually cousins with
That's the curl.
EJ and Ryan
Look,
as
that's the
well, so
curl.
it's an entire family
Yeah,
affair
carve it.
there.
Yep,
And then Mark Kennedy and Ryan Fry have been
Hard.
in and out of that
Whoa.
team as well.
Oh, oh.
We
Yep,
got the
yep, a little bit.
brother and sister duo, the Negavans. We saw Jennifer Jones play with her husband Brett Lang at a mixed doubles. So lots of family connections around curling. So Chung's second here.
Normal.
So throwing this with normal weight, trying to get a piece of that red, and I think they'd like to stick around, and if you could, you might want to roll in towards the center line just a little bit.
Yep. Yes. Whoa. Whoa. Close. Clean.
Line looks pretty
Yep.
good. Can they
Yep.
get it by
Yep.
the guard? Oh, they run it back,
throw.
and oh, that actually
Great
might have been the
sweep.
call. They
That was-
run it back, and that
I like
is.
what you did there. That was cool. Like the heavy clean. I like that.
Oh, I think that may have been a last-minute decision there to go ahead and run that rock back. I'm not really sure. I think that may have been planned, but either way, that's a fantastic outcome for the Ryerson Rams, and Young was right on the money with that shot. He's been real good today as well.
Whoa, whoa.
Nelson Wang,
Matthew, yep.
Prenovo. Trying to
Anything
straighten this
under,
one
anything
out.
under.
Get
Yep.
it
Whoa,
to that
whoa.
yellow, and
Perfect.
yeah, he just does, and oh, rolls it right behind as well. How about that? That's a great shot from Nelson Wang.
And Thomas is coming back to Matthias Chung. I have to agree with you. He has been absolutely on the money. He's been, you know, it's fair to say that UFT's felt a bit stung by his throws. But let me ask you this: you've gotten to see Matthias play in multiple positions here today. What do you think best suits his gameplay?
Wait
Well,
only. Wait
that's a really
only.
good question. You know, he
Sweep
said
for T.
his
Line's
strongest
great.
positions are as
Line
a
will be
second
really
or as a
good.
third.
Line's great. Sweep for T.
I think his
We got-
mid to lightweight shots have
okay,
been
you're
his
gonna have to switch. You gotta
best
switch and go.
attribute. So I'd probably say that he might be better at second. Third is
Here's okay.
really a
Here's okay.
takeout position where you see a lot of heavier weight shots. I think that maybe Eric Fennick might be a little better suited for that, but
Great judge. Are you getting
I think
slower
he's
splits
looked
on
pretty
the
good
goals?
at second.
That in reference to how they've been. What was the split like on that? That's how it's been,
You know, Thomas,
like for
it might take me a
back to
lot of
log,
training.
approximately. Okay.
If I'm gonna get
means
on the
about
ice one day, I want to learn how to be a skip.
Do you?
It's got to be the coolest position.
Are you any good at
Hands
chess?
I am quite the tactician, except I don't know if I can position quite so easily. There's a lot of core strength, and just look right now how we see Nelson Wang
Hard line.
hold his body firm and have no
Whoa.
off rotation on that stone
Whoa.
as he throws it. Requires a
James.
lot of core
Yep.
strength. I don't know if I have that.
Hard.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's the strategy that it would take
Whoa,
years
whoa,
and years
whoa.
and years to
Yep,
learn.
Matthew, yep.
As here's a shot that's come right in, and it's gonna nestle right on top of that yellow rock. Taps it back just a bit. So red line 2. What I was gonna say though is that, you know, it's the strategy of where you're positioning these rocks. As we just see a complicated mix of rocks in the house right now, but I mean, boy, oh boy, it's even harder just to execute the rock.
Easy.
Absolutely, and
Where?
let's not forget the lead and the
Easy.
second year. The amount of
Can't
forearm
yet.
strength you need to
Close,
break the
close.
ice so that stone keeps
Easy.
traveling fast and
Let it
repetitively,
come.
constantly back and
Oh,
forth for
we're-
multiple ends. Your
yeah,
forearms
we're-
have to be strong.
Quite a
And Fennick is gonna tap that red back, but
It's okay.
not a
Should learn more
ton.
on
And
that
yeah,
one.
that is an okay outcome there for the Rams. They're sitting 2, but neither are shot.
Yeah. So on.
They're also behind the tee
That's
line.
close.
you worry a little bit if you're the Rams about what Toronto might be able to do with this shot. They could make things real difficult.
Sitting 2 right now.
Yeah, sitting 2.
I think I like that ice there. Yeah, I'm just worried it's going to hang. If we take off the guard, that's okay. I never want to leave it wide, right? Yeah. Yeah, everything's curling a ton. So. Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah, and this is Toronto's first little stint on this ice as well. Well, and you saw a little smile there from Hocevar, who he says, "Yeah, this ice curling a ton, probably more than the other ones, especially when he's throwing the, well, for him the in-turn guard, but he's gonna throw the out-turn here."
Whoa, wait now. Line's good. Yep, line.
Trying to get around those guards at the top of the house. If they could sit 3 here, that'd be perfect. And it needs a little backing. Is it gonna sit down? It sure will.
Right there.
Tough spot
for
the Rams, but
probably.
you look at that and you see a bit of a pocket forming there, right around the button. Wonder if Weston Orniak tries to sneak one in there.
Sorry? Like right under, yeah. Oh yeah, no, like we want to freeze the 2 of there.
Yeah.
So just make sure we're there. I'll give you an idea for line.
So they're gonna try and, if you go ahead and direct your attention to the bottom corner of the screen there, they're trying to nuzzle it right in between those 2 reds that are
I have edge.
just behind the button.
I need to hear more.
Almost like a double freeze to each of these rocks, and it'll make it real tough to try and remove them. Got to be perfect. You can't tap those reds back, and you can't come up short either.
Really close, guys. I think you got to go a bit. Yep.
Yep.
Line's great, guys.
But remember that curl at the end.
Whoa.
Oh, the weight's pretty good too. How much of a tap is that? Oh, just a little bit, but
Good judge.
that's pretty good. Line was just perfect. It could have done with just a little less weight, but that's a great shot from Orniak. Now look at this. So it's Ryerson sitting 1. Now what do you do if you're Toronto here? I don't think you want to just throw something heavyweight and knock all that around, because
You can get shot.
you risk sitting there, and oh boy, Hocevar is saying we might be able to get shot there. That's got to be just perfect. You're going to have to tap that yellow back just a bit and hit it right on the nose. You can't be anywhere to the left or to the right, or else you're probably going to roll out and not be shot. Can he put it right on the nose? Last stone of the end for Hocevar in the 7th.
Whoa, right now.
And it comes down the ice.
That's the curl. Whoa. Has to be above T.
Trying to sneak it in there, and it's going to be a little bit wide. So now this gets real interesting if you're the Rams. It looks like there is a shot for 2 there somewhere. Shot for 2 would give yourself the lead going into the 8th. That's where they want to be.
We can get away with obviously being light, but I mean, I'd love to make it.
Yeah, you don't want to be too heavy and risk
we can
tapping that yellow back.
We can tap ours. I don't know.
I think you want to hit the red.
You're sweep for T line. We have backing. Let's make it.
You have backing, but you don't want to hit that yellow. If you hit that yellow, that's where you run the risk of potentially running it back and not being shot. Obviously, your shooter would stick around and likely be shot sitting right on the button, but they would love to just run one of those yellows back. Just a little tap for 2. Last rock.
Yeah.
Here comes Weston Orniak. Your curler of the day, Thomas.
Hard,
Let's
guys.
see if he's got some magic left in him.
Hard, guys.
Huge shot for Weston.
Every inch you
needs
can
the
go.
sweepers.
Every inch you can go.
It's
you gotta
real
go.
light.
Go, Matthias, go.
They're sweeping it as hard as they
Still
can.
going. Keep going.
Chung and Pepper. Can they get it there? Is it enough? And oh, they may have just done it.
Great brush.
Oh.
How about that? Ryerson sits 2. They take the lead going to the 8th end. But Toronto will have the hammer.
Talk about a shot and a half. And I called out Weston there while he was making a shot, and he answered me right back with a great throw.
About the same, yeah.
You put my curl of the day on the line too.
I did, and he rose up to the occasion.
Yeah.
Now I forgot what I was going to say, Thomas. I can't remember. I guess I'm drawing a blank. But
Okay.
Throw center guard, we'll see what
had to throw one of those in there for the day.
Yeah, why not? No, you're real sharp with the curling references, even though you're new to the game.
Well, you know,
yeah.
it's all about learning the sport and getting invested in
they're
it
just
itself.
really
And I was
guards.
speaking to some of these curlers over here, about what their favorite food was, but I didn't even have to guess. I knew it was takeout.
Oh my. Yep. I got you there too, man. That's good. That's real good.
A couple of jokes from myself as we enter the 8th end. Do we have a we have a game on our hands here, Thomas. We couldn't have asked more as curling fans to have this as our last game for the broadcast.
Yeah, I don't even want to go home yet. This has been a good time.
It
Sweep for
absolutely
top
has.
4. Top 4, boys. Anywhere you can go.
So we'll keep a close eye on this one. All starts
Eric,
with the
inch
lead
then,
rocks
Eric.
trying to set up
As
this
close as you
end,
can get to the
and
center
the
line,
Ryerson
Eric.
Rams,
Just go.
well,
Head down and go.
they need to steal for the
Oh, yeah,
wind,
you're going.
or
Oh yeah, you're going every inch. Oh yeah.
they can
Oh,
try and
fuck it.
force. I don't know if we're
Don't
playing
15-7,
extra ends.
you gotta get out.
Actually, I'm not
Good
sure.
sweep.
Thomas, coming back to that point we made that anyone can play this game, and it truly is a very factual statement. My mom called me the other day and she was like, Jay, I really want your dad to pick up curling. And I was like, why? What's the only way to get him to sweep the house?
I hope your parents are tuned in right now.
It's probably very early in the morning where they are, but I hope they're doing well, and I hope everyone else who's tuning into our On the Button broadcast has enjoyed all the curling action we've brought them today.
Yeah, and just a reminder as well, you can go back and watch the game on YouTube if you're a coach and you're looking for some game film. Obviously, you're welcome to go back on the YouTube channel and rewatch the game, or if you're just trying to relive some of the great curling that we saw today, you can do that as well, as those games will live for life
like
on
the
the
throw.
On the Button YouTube channel, and your parents can go back and watch that too if they want to
right now. Doesn't need a curl right now.
pick up on your
Gotta go
quippy
straight
little
a little
references
bit. Straight
today.
a little bit, Matthias. Straight a little bit.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
I
straight.
think, Thomas, we
straight a
also
little
owe
bit.
a big
Okay,
thank
line's fine,
you
line's
to the
fine, line's
Golf
fine,
Curling
line's great,
Club.
line's great.
Yep.
Giving us this opportunity to
bit.
broadcast their games and the invitational tournament. And I also just want to
Real
give a big
nice.
thank you to all the families who came out here to support, their children's or, siblings who came to see their brothers or sisters play. They've been very kind to us and very encouraging. And, well, from the rest of the broadcasting crew, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, we had a lot of people in our corner for this broadcast helping us get this one done. And, well, it all started at the beginning of the year when our producer, #Captain Cunningham, and myself contacted Perry Marshall, and we said, what are the odds that we can get a curling broadcast done with the Ryerson team? And, well, Perry was really, really helpful with that. And he helped us out a ton, giving us the information we need, connecting us with the Guelph Curling Club to try and get this one done. And, we'd love to continue to do these broadcasts in the future if we generate any kind of interest. And, we're just trying to bring a little bit of exposure to OUA curling. And I think that we do have some great curlers here. And, we've seen some pretty entertaining games today as well. So we'd love to, upgrade the broadcast, see if we can't get out to a few more events and bring some more live coverage as well. Also, a big thank you as well to Steve
I
Szymanski,
love this.
the coach of the Guelph Curling Club, or the
You guys
Guelph
like this?
Curling team. And he as well came down to us. We had lots of practice sessions out here at the Guelph Curling Club, and Steve was with us till late last night while we were trying to set up all our equipment and run all our wires around the curling club. So he's just been an absolutely massive help as well. So big thank you to all of those people that have helped us out. There's a lot of people who put in a lot of work on this production, but there's also a lot of people who took some of their own time to help us put this on, which they totally did not need to do. So we really appreciate that. 8th end, Ryerson leading 6-5. Trying to force Toronto and put this game into a tie, or maybe we go to extra ends. I guess we'll have to wait and find out, but ideally trying to keep Toronto off the score sheet.
Yeah, you gotta go.
And for the Varsity Blues, scoring is imperative.
Over and off then. Over and off, over and off, over and off.
You could keep things clean, but I think they're going for the win,
Go then,
trying
yeah,
to find
go.
2.
You still got it. Okay, you're okay. Easy, guys, easy, easy, easy. Just don't kill yourselves. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's interesting too. I don't know if you heard that from where you're standing right now, Jai, but Weston Orniak just said don't kill yourselves when they're sweeping the rocks. And think about how hard it is to sweep a rock, and they're playing their 3rd game of the day. Boy, oh boy, they must be exhausted.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of
shouldn't
arm
kill the
strength
red,
to
but
break that ice. They make
do,
sure the
that's
stone
okay.
keeps traveling at that pace. And, you know, like you said, Thomas, we've been surrounded by some terrific athletes, girls and boys who work really hard day in and day out to perfect their skills. And I think it's fair to say that I'm still 1 or 2 jelly donuts away from being a skip, but it's just been really wonderful to absorb all this plethora of knowledge around us.
We got jelly donuts up here. We got a big box of them.
I know, and I finished the first box.
Whoa. Okay.
Prenovo's shot peels the guard, and it looks like it's yellow sitting 1. So, well, that's where Ryerson wants to be.
Though.
1 and buried, sitting just at the back of the 4-foot.
Yep.
Chung trying to come around the guard, see if he can't
You gotta go straight.
curl one into the button potentially.
Yeah, go. Well, we're
Yeah, no, they're gonna tap that
Well, no, we're
that red.
trying to tap it into the open. I guess. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I don't know in that situation. Like we're here. You wanna?
Air high side.
so it seems like what he just did is you give up about as straightforward as a double as you can. You just got to run it back and get a piece of that yellow, and the other yellow will go as well. So I think they're probably playing the double here. Don't know if that shooter's going to stick around. Yeah, here's the weight.
Yep. Whoa. Yep.
On off is always a good sign.
Hard.
Did they get enough of it? Tap it back, and well, just about. They get both moving. They put themselves into it's close, but they're certainly first shot. Don't know about second. Ryerson trying to play the force here. See if they can't hit this red, maybe roll over a bit. Eric Fennick.
Yep. Yep.
Sweepers on it right away.
Yep. Yep.
Curling
Yes.
a lot.
Yes. Never off. Never off, Matthias. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Right up.
No, they
Heart out on,
might have it hitting a little bit of a rollover. Can you get it out at the back? Oh, I think they did.
no, it's okay. Hey, if you make it, I'm never going to complain.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I think we just got to go here. Make that really tough, right?
So this is a freeze.
Yeah, bumping it a little bit is okay. Yeah, don't mind that.
You bump it a little bit, you put your red
Yeah.
a little closer to the button.
Yeah,
It's never
so
bad.
slightest bump is okay. Even if just frozen there is bad. That's, well, yeah, I guess that's not good. Yeah, we got to bump it, you're right. So just bump it a hair on the inside. Yeah,
Real good conversation there between
I like back four.
Wang and Kosovar.
Back four. Just bump it a little bit.
So it's a light hit, stick around at the top, bump that red just a little bit back. And I think the reason that they don't want to freeze to that as well is that if you could ever get a piece of one of those stones, then that red is gone, and then it ends up being yellow just sitting there in the place of where that red rock would be. So that's why you want to bump that red back. You want to create that little bit of separation between the yellow and the red.
Yep.
Is how I read it. Sweeper's on it right away.
Gotta go line. Hey, James.
Oh, and I think they're going to plan B here.
Yep.
See if they can't
Whoa.
tap the guard a little bit. And, well, now they end. Okay, so this is an interesting shot right here. I think they might have been hoping to try and tap that guard over a little bit and maybe guard those two rocks that are frozen to each other above the 4-foot. So the button is certainly guarded right now.
Or do you like...
Toronto is the red rock, so they're sitting shot here at the back, and we'll see what Weston wants to do here. Oh, he's gonna peel the guard, I think.
Yes! Yep!
Fennec shot,
Okay.
and all you can
Easy,
see
easy,
by
easy.
the
Let it curl, let it
facial
curl, let it curl.
reaction there that
Don't really wanna...
this isn't going where he wanted it to,
yep.
and
There we go.
oh, it gets a piece, taps it back, and
That's work. Whoa. Keep doing it.
I don't know who shot there. I don't know if it's gonna matter in the end when things all play out, but nevertheless, Kosovar is having a long look at that.
Hey, their shot.
Oh, and he says their shot. Okay, so that means that Ryerson's yellow rock there is shot, according to Daniel Kosovar. Looked
That's
real
a
close,
shot.
though.
Leslie Peel.
He could do that.
Get rid of that. Right? He might try that, but if he misses, then we got this. I think that peels the shot. I think just peel it off. Firm?
So they're going to try and peel that yellow that's just above the rings.
Yep.
Big shot for Wang. His second shot of the 8th. Trying to peel this yellow, and
keep going hard.
oh, I don't know. It's a straight back. Oh, and he gets a piece of his own.
I think we just throw one guard right now. Like one right.
I don't
one
think that
right
was
here.
the
Show 'em a piece
ideal
of this.
situation they were looking for.
Yeah, that's if we're deep, that's good. I think the perfect shot is like right there. This is the call. Should walk here pretty good, I think. We're trying to be like right here. Just nibbling is good. If you can tuck a piece, that's great. The straight guard is also perfect. Can I have a little more, please? Yeah. The misses for sure.
So he'd rather err on the side of light
make it, like-
rather than heavy.
Top 12, same speed I've been throwing.
And
Pretty
if he's
similar?
biting just the top 12 foot, that would be perfect. So looking for a shot on the right side of the rings there. See if you can't just nibble a little bit, but if it's not in the rings, not a big deal.
I don't know, guys. It's really lazy handle.
I think lazy handle means he didn't curl it enough. Means that
Can you
rock's
make
going
it
to curl a
even
little
better?
too much. And oh, they're just going to let that carry. How far is it going to get?
That's like,
And
how many is that?
Hmm.
Like, yeah.
I think we draw. Yeah.
well, it wasn't where he wanted it, but he did just put it above the
You like that ice?
rings.
I think that's good.
Hear the voice of Daniel Hosevar there, and sounds like he's trying to play a draw.
Okay.
So see
What
if
do
he
you
can't come around everything, and if he could,
Yeah,
if he
bite
could
the
ever
four
get a
at least.
piece of that yellow 4 foot.
Wait.
No, that would really help his case, but he's gonna be throwing that. Gonna be throwing that out turn once again, and remember that out turn. When you throw it along the edge of that ice, it curls a lot
so
more, so he's
13?
got to account for that. If not, you're gonna see him hit that red guard just above the rings. The information gathered throughout this game on the conditions of the ice are real important here.
Stay with it.
Trying to come around.
Oh,
Wants it to curl here.
yep, line. Hard line.
Can he bring it by? Yes, he does. Does he get a piece of the 4 foot? Oh, yeah, and that's shot rock, so that is a fantastic draw, and the sweepers
good.
never even touched it from
I know,
Hosevar.
Ice is so slow now, right? So-
I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm separating. Oh,
That
yeah,
was
no, we're throwing this.
that was a really, really great draw. And you heard
I'd
Hosevar
love
as
to
well.
tap it frozen, if that's possible. Let's just make the draw first and maybe a hair more.
I was just gonna say you
Tap.
heard Hosevar say,
Oh, no,
you know,
no,
he
no.
noticed
Oh,
how
we're playing
much
the-
the
we're not
ice has
shot.
slowed down.
Yeah, we're playing the tap. So essentially, you gotta chisel it over and roll so that you're not. Sorry? Yeah, that's the one we're tapping.
So he's gonna chip that one in the 8 foot in the white rings. See if he can't bump that right back and
Be on the
become
broom
shot
first.
rock, and well, that would make things real difficult to try and get to the button to tie the game or for the win for Toronto. Huge shot.
Really close. Really close.
The last one for Weston
Oh.
Orniak.
Whoa! Whoa!
Needs it to curl. Trying to tap that yellow back. And he's going to go straight by. So it'll be a draw for the win for Hocevar and the University of Toronto Varsity Blues, and he's just got to throw the exact same line that he just threw.
Same weight, maybe a little less.
I don't know if you go any less. I think you could even use that red as just a little bit. No, you couldn't use it as any backing. That got to stay right there. Yeah, a little less weight. A little more curl. Got to just put her right down that same path. 6-5 Ryerson. Hocevar, the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. 2 for the win. This one's a bit lighter. They're going to have to straighten it out.
You can go. Hard.
Sweepers are on it. Can they get it by the guard? It's going to be tight. Wang is in there to help out too. 3 sweepers on it. Trying to get it by. Is it going to be enough? Oh, I don't think so. So it's going to be 1 red. Oh, they're having a look at it.
I think it's a 1, 2, 3.
This is how.
Two of us throw and it's combined. Oh, okay. Seconds throw. Yeah.
Okay, how about this? So we're going to go a draw to the button for the win.
All right. What turn do you like?
We're throwing first, so.
I think they're going to be. Yeah.
So here's what I think's going to happen.
What side do you want to throw? There?
What do you like? Pretty comfortable with giving either. I think we have a good idea what. I think we do. I think that side's a little so. So intern is probably the more side, but it's.
So Team Ryerson discussing intern or out turn.
That his last was.
And it's 1 shot for the win here. So it'll be Toronto who goes first. This game's tied 6-6, and
off a little bit, but
well, it's the curling's version of a shootout.
I believe in you.
And it looks like the seconds are going to be the ones throwing, so that falls on Matthew Prenovo. Seeing how close to the button he can get it for Toronto.
Line's good. Line's good. Line's good.
Well, they like the line. Keep an eye on how
How do you-
close they
line's
can
good.
get it. It's gotta go.
13-8.
Trying to get it as close to the button as they possibly can.
Yep. Hard. Good.
And they're gonna
So,
get
measuring tape or something
pretty much all of the 4 foot. So that's
for you. Does it
That's-
matter? I don't know.
So if we're fully, yeah,
okay. So
Yeah.
full 4 foot for the win.
you got to be full 4.
Yeah.
Fight to the white.
So here we go.
Full 4.
Matthew Chung. His draw weight has been actually quite good today. And this is his biggest draw of the day. For the win. Got to get all of the 4 foot.
I love line. Straight, Eric. Straight, Eric. Straight only. Straight.
Matthew Chung shot for the win, trying to get full 4 foot in. It's not going to make it there. So the University of Toronto Varsity Blues win in shootout style, 7-6. And what a game we just witnessed between Ryerson, the Rams, and the Varsity Blues. Boy, oh boy. Well, that's going to do it for our coverage of the draws here. And Jai, a fantastic matchup that we saw today. Thoroughly enjoyable.
I know it's
Two
good. I mean,
Toronto
both
teams
sides are
really fighting it out
warping.
for supremacy of Toronto, and well, this time UFT came out glorious, and wow, what a game. What a way to end this invitational
You also
tournament.
had no idea you were going to be the one to throw it.
If you go past that door.
Well, thoroughly enjoyed our coverage today. A great day at the University of Guelph Invitational. Jai, great curling communication key in today's game, and things I think that impressed me the most was the improvement that we saw throughout the first game, especially for the Ryerson. Having a little bit of trouble with communication, that got a lot better.
Absolutely, and that's expected. You know, coming off the pandemic, a lot of guys haven't had much ice time, so some of them are a bit lethargic. Takes a bit of time to get used to your skills, but like you said, massive improvement. We saw a lot of curlers today. Weston Orniak, Rachel Steele, a lot of competitive spirit, and just what a great invitational tournament to be here in Guelph.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyable today, and that game as well at the end. Boy, oh boy, could we have been treated to a better finish than that. I know we're new to this curling community, but we see a shootout style finish with the draws to the button. Obviously, so much pressure on that draw to the button, but how about that for a finish? Just trying to draw away the finesse shot for the win.
Christmas came early for curling fans today as we saw the UFT Ryerson Battle of the Six come to a shootout. I mean, I think the most important thing that Ryerson needs to take away is, hey, we made it competitive. We got some points on the board today. We might be inexperienced, but hey, it's just at the start of the season. Let's see where we go with it.
And other teams as well. Tons of positives to come away with today. We saw the Varsity Blues. They get a lot better today as well. And we also want to say a big thank you as well. A lot of people putting on a ton of work behind the scenes. Cole Stenwick on the switcher. Owen Cunningham, our producer today. Got a ton of camera people as well that are coming in and volunteering. Really fantastic. Maddie Smith getting our audio done for us today as well. So really awesome. Huge shout out.
Absolutely. I guess my final thought, just before I hand it off to you, Thomas, is as a new curling fan, what an event. What an event, and I can't wait for more curling this season.
Yeah, Jack Moore on graphics too, and really appreciate all of the hard work everyone has. Thomas West, I know it. University of Guelph. Invitation.